One of this year's hottest games, with one of this year's hottest vampires, is Capcom's Resident Evil Village. But what if I told you that this frightening provincial town connects to an 80s Japanese B-movie? Well, grab your herbs and strap in as we dive down the rabbit hole to see what horrors lie beneath. Meet Lady Dimitrescu. She is 9'6", single, mother to 3 daughters, and enjoys long moonlit walks through her castle while hunting man-things. In addition to being a terrifying enemy in the game, Lady Dimitrescu was already topping fan-favorite charts and hearts when she was first showcased in the 3rd trailer for the game. So don't be surprised if Lady Dimitrescu becomes 2021's hottest and tallest cosplay. But her stunning design is actually not as original as some may think. In a recent interview with IGN, Tomonori Takano, the game's art director, stated that Dimitrescu was inspired by 16th century Hungarian noblewoman and serial killer Elizabeth Bathory, Angelica Houston's Morticia Addams, and most notably the Japanese urban legend Hasha Kusama. In order to truly uncover this resident's evil side, we need to dive further down the rabbit hole. The Hasha Kusama, sometimes known as Hasha Kusama, is an 8-foot-tall ghost that wears a white dress and white hat on top of her stark black hair. She is typically found stalking children and eventually kidnaps and kills them. So think of her as a kind of well-dressed female Slender Man minus the spooky tentacles. Terrifyingly, the Hasha Kusama is just one of the spooktacular spirits of Japanese lore known as Onryo. Onryo are ghosts that are capable of causing harm in the world of the living. They can injure or kill living things, cause natural disasters, and possess bodies all in the name of taking vengeance. Onryo are popular across Japanese horror and have starred in many prominent horror films. Sadako from The Ring, Onryo. Kayako and Toshio from The Grudge, Onryo. Your mom waking up and seeing that you forgot to take out the trash again? Okay, not an Onryo, but she's probably pretty vengeful nonetheless. In addition to their eerie appearance, Onryo have terrifying movement habits as well. You can either find them standing unnervingly still in one place or rushing you in a mad crawling frenzy. And wouldn't you know, one specific crawling Onryo is the next find down our rabbit hole. Meet Crawling Girl, one of the many terrifying Onryo from the 2001 horror game Fatal Frame. In Fatal Frame, players take on the role of Miku Hinasaki as she explores Himuro Mansion in search of her brother, equipped only with a camera that can pacify spirits. Basically, it's like Pokemon Snap, except instead of cute Pokemon posing on surfboards, it's creepy spirits that are actually all around you, and oh geez, it does not look like a Pokeflute will calm them down. While there has been a surrounding controversy regarding the game's tagline, Fatal Frame, based on a true story, since the creator later said the game was not based on the legends surrounding the real Himuro Mansion, the game is actually inspired by urban legends and the developer's own personal ghost experiences. Truth can be scarier than fiction, and another big horror franchise profited off of that idea as well. Meet the charming town of Centralia, Pennsylvania, the real-life inspiration for Konami's Silent Hill. In 1962, in order to clean up waste, the town ordered that the landfills be burned. Simple task, right? Well, unfortunately, the landfill fire quickly spread through unsealed tunnels that led to an abandoned coal mine, where the fire still burns to this day. Unable to stop the fire, the government quickly decided to evacuate the town for some pretty obvious safety reasons, including but not limited to the enormous uncontrollable fiery inferno blazing endlessly below. Only a few brave souls remained in the town, and Silent Hill literally copied it all. The only notable difference is that Centralia does not house a cult, parasites, or a deity meant to herald the end of the world, as far as we know. Silent Hill may have also been inspired by something else. Just a little-known horror game that swept the markets in 1996. That's right, it's classic Resident Evil time. Since Silent Hill's release, it's been widely debated if Silent Hill copied this horror gaming icon. While Resident Evil is known for its action and jump scares, Silent Hill took a more psychological approach to scaring its players. And sometimes, even the copier becomes the copied. There was a lot of chatter about whether or not Resident Evil 7 Biohazard was inspired by the Silent Hill playable teaser, also known as PT, which was developed by Guillermo del Toro and Hideo Kojima back in 2014, and included one of the scariest ghosts of all time, Lisa, and oh god, don't look now, but she's right behind you. While the developers of Biohazard have declared these rumors to be false, this would not have been the first time a Resident Evil game took inspiration from another title. That's right, grab your shovels from your inventory because it's time to dig even deeper. Now, we know what you're thinking. Surely the original Resident Evil was crafted and concocted on its own, right? Well, not really. If you can believe it, Resident Evil was actually a copy of a previous Capcom title that debuted in 1989, Capcom's Sweet Home. Sweet Home is a survival horror RPG developed for the Famicom. 5 filmmakers explore an old mansion and uncover the horrors that lie within. Small crew, mansion, horrors. Sound familiar? As the saying goes, if it ain't broke, make it again 7 years later under a different title. But Sweet Home was not an original idea of Capcom's. It was a game that was released and promoted alongside a film with the same name. Here we are, Home Sweet Home, the film that started it all. Sweet Home tells the story of a film crew that seeks out the mansion of a deceased artist, hoping to find his old works and restore them. It's got all your classic paranormal hits: empty mansion, possession, child that accidentally fell into an incinerator and is the reason the mother haunts the mansion, classic. And wouldn't you know, the mansion, collapses at the end of the film as our team escapes. While Sweet Home may forever be another VHS on the 1980s horror shelf, we can all thank it for giving life to the Resident Evil series. So now we've reached the final circle in our descent down the rabbit hole, what have we learned? That the best horror video games are based on real stories, real experiences, or real titles that your real company released 7 years earlier. And if you want to have a spooky ghost lady haunt your home, try attracting a vengeful spirit. Or you could do what we do and simply play a few hours of Resident Evil Village.